Hello and welcome back to my channel, everyone. It is your girl Cassandra Olivia, and today I have a new client. She's coming in for a silk press service, and I'm doing my intense hydrating silk press service on her. This includes 3 fully steamed shampoos and a deep condition. So I just added a couple snippets of this behind the scenes of me doing that. And then you guys already know recently I've been using my leaf and flower products, so I will be sure to tag that down below as well. I am now an ambassador, so shout out to them for reaching out to me and giving me such an amazing opportunity and sending me these products. I really do love them, and you guys know I would not tell you about something if I don't stand by it 100%. So prior to me blow drying her, I am putting in a heat protectant. I'm using the 7-minute blowout by Leaf and Flower, and I also like to use a tiny drop, a little bit less than a dime size of the molecular oil that they also have. This just ensures that the hair is nice and healthy and there will be no frizz, and it'll also repair any damage. My client's hair was pretty good, but because this was her first visit and she had not been to a professional salon in several years, I knew that she was going to need a trim and or a haircut. So I just let her know that once I was done blowing her out, we would go ahead and take a look at her ends. So right here, I'm just showing you guys I'm detangling her hair, and I am taking the hair in smaller sections, and I'm starting from the ends, working my way up to the roots. You just want to make sure that when you detangle natural hair and you're blow drying, that it is thoroughly saturated. So you will see me go in with a spray bottle by Framar in between sections just to resaturate the hair, but you just want to make sure that you are not blow drying on tangled hair and you're not blow drying on dry natural hair, because then that can cause breakage. So I'm just speeding this up slightly because you guys know I don't like to have super long videos, even though I have been trying to make my videos a little bit longer. I'm a short and simple and to the point type of girl, so you guys know that I try to just show you guys what I'm doing and just be thorough, but also not bore you guys to death. And I'm very appreciative of all of my new followers and subscribers. Thank you guys so much for finding my channel and showing love. I really do appreciate that. So I'm just going to finish blowing out this section. It's pretty self-explanatory. And if you guys want to know how to blow dry natural hair, I also have several tutorials on my channel, as well as several shampoo tutorials on how I shampoo, what products I use. So if you're not sure, just click on my channel. I have several videos and tons of content for you guys to watch if you are learning how to do natural hair. And while I'm thinking about it, because she's a new client, I'd like to walk all of my new clients through every step. So I'll let them know, like, hey, I'm going to use this shampoo and this conditioner. I always ask if they're comfortable, what they're not comfortable with, if they like their setting in the shampoo bowl with a certain temperature of water. I also test it on my hand. I just try to make sure that my guests are as comfortable as possible and that you make a very good first impression. And that starts also with being on time, being friendly, you know, hello, how are you, making sure that you have a clean salon environment. These things really do matter. I'm speaking from experience, and as a stylist that is literally fully booked 24/7, just take a little bit of pride when you're doing a client and just try to make sure that you make a very good first impression, because first impressions are very important. So once she warmed up to me, I started communicating with her more about the process and then getting to know her. She is from PA, but she came all the way to Delaware to get her hair done. Philly is not too far away from where I'm located, but it's about 45 minutes to an hour or two, depending on what part of Pennsylvania you live in. So she came to visit me, and I was very appreciative of that. But again, I'm just going in with my Paul Mitchell 427 paddle brush, and I am going in with my Rust Beef Freak. You guys know I'm a creature of habit, so I tend to use the same exact blow dryer and paddle brush. I'm a firm believer, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I use the same techniques. The only thing that's different is I might switch out my serums as far as my heat protectant in my products. But you just want to make sure that you are using a very good heat protectant in the client's hair, so that way you are not causing damage as you blow dry. And just make sure that you are doing a thorough job with the blow dry, because that is the most important step. So I'm just resaturating the section here, and I'll be back in just a few. Once my client is almost completely done being blow dried, I just like to go in with my fingers and rub the scalp, making sure there's no wet spots. I also check by the mask and the perimeter of the hair, the center of the hair, because sometimes the hair can be dry but the scalp can be wet, and you just want to make sure prior to you going in with the flat iron or round brush that the hair is as dry as possible, scalp too, because if you are round brushing and the scalp is pretty wet, when you go in to add that tension with the heat, it can cause steam and it can also cause irritation and burn your client. So you just want to be careful of that. And now I'm just going in and using a wide tooth comb, separating the sections. I did paddle brush her hair, and this is me just going in back again with the paddle brush, hitting the back section of her hair, pulling everything forward, making sure to get the roots, and then I also round brush as well. So now that my client is all blown out, I'm just going in with some Rusk S3 spray. I mean, not Rusk. This is Influance S3 spray. I use this all the time. You do have to be licensed to purchase these products, but I love these products. This is another heat protectant. It is a UV protectant. It adds shine, and it also eliminates frizz, so that way your silk press can last. And also when she goes out in the sun, it will not damage her hair from the sun's rays. So I really like this because it's like a 4-in-1, and it's very lightweight, and it has a really good smell. So now I'm just going to go ahead and section her hair out, and I'm going to press her hair out with my custom flat irons. You guys already know that I have a discount code always in my descriptions. So if you want to purchase, just be sure to check that out. I do have my own website. It is CassandraOlivia.com or www.CassandraOlivia.com. Either way, it'll pop up. And I do have these irons available for purchase on my website. I've been using these literally for the last 3 years. This iron that I'm using in particular is literally the first prototype I used. This was my sample iron prior to me getting my logo put on, and it still is going good 3 years later. So I figured if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I haven't been using the one with my logo on it because this one still works. But don't fret, this is my custom iron that I'm using, guys. I've tested this tried and true, and these are literally the best. Like, they're the best. So yeah, I'm going to finish pressing her out, and then once I'm done, I'm just going to go ahead and trim her ends. I am going to consult with her prior, and I always put my clients in the mirror and explain to them what I think should happen, what we should do, and then we go from there. But I never just start cutting my clients' hair without their permission or without consulting with them first. Even if they're not new, I just like to kind of let them know what I'm going to do, so that way they are not worried about me damaging the hair or anything crazy going on like that. And they're not scared, because I know some stylists can be scissor happy, so I just want to make sure that my client is as comfortable as possible. So I'm going to show you guys how her hair looked before, once we are done pressing her out. As you can see, her hair is in kind of a U shape, and she does have those see-through ends. So I did consult with her, and then once I was done, I just started going in and trimming. My clients can hold up the mirror if they would like to see what I'm doing, but this client trusted me, so she told me just to go ahead and do my thing, because she's watched several of my videos. But generally, if you are not comfortable, I do allow my clients to hold the mirror, just so that way they can see what I'm doing, and that way they can know for sure that I'm not taking up more than I said I am, and they can just feel a little bit more comfortable. So just make sure that you're engaging with your clients during every service, and you are explaining the process, and just, you know, doing your due diligence. And that really does make a huge difference when it comes to having clients that are return clients and building clientele. So I'm trying to get the after, but she was so hyped, she kept moving her head, so I'll just show that in just a second. And now I'm just going to go back in with my flat iron on a lower setting and just bump the ends. She didn't want anything too crazy. She loved the cut, so I loved the cut as well. She let me record her, so shout out to you. And now I'm just going to go in and bump her ends. Another thing is, this client did not want edge control, so I typically ask towards the end if they want edge control in their hair. Recently, for the last year or so, I've been team no edge control. But if I have a client that wants some, I will add it on there. But typically, most of my clients prefer not to have it, just because it's kind of hard to keep up, or sometimes it can flake on you. Mine does not, but if you don't have the same one I'm using, it can be difficult to keep up with. So thank you guys so much for watching. That is all, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.